Okay, hello everyone and welcome back to Humi's Game. Okay, today I will not playing any deck, but I will talk and share my opinion about this balancing patch because this patch is a big balance patch because of 9 cards get adjust. Some of them get nerf, some of them get buff, and it will make a huge impact to the meta since the nerf is going to hit all the meta deck right now, and maybe will change some deck in unlimited. So anyway, let's go to the first card. Okay, so the first one in this list is Mistolina and Balion Nerf. Mistolina and Balion Nerf is the card cost has increased from 6 to 7 play point, and it takes about 1 month and 28 days for C games to realize that a 3 play point card with a random 5 damage and a very big stat, it has Storm, it has Ward, and only costs 1 Nateran Greti to be discarded, need to be nerfed. I don't know what Segams thinks about it, but anyway, this nerf will make Rally Sword's tempo become slower, and I think it's completely kill Mistolina and Balion OTK since the card become a 7 play point, and yeah, it just can't do anything in Mistolina and Balion OTK. However, in Rally Sword, maybe, okay, just maybe, we might see cards such as Geno or Albert or even Benny Baron on the list. And maybe they can reduce Mistolina Balion from a 3 copy to just a 2 copy of them because the card is so much slower. But if you're a sword player and you think the deck will be bad or something, don't worry. This nerf will not affect the control sword since the deck doesn't use mistobay at all. So in my opinion, we'll still be able to use swordcraft in the rank match or even some tournaments since the meta may become slower anyway, and a control sword is a great deck, is a good deck if the meta is low. It can OTK, it has how many heal, and the deck is obviously become stronger. Okay, let's go to the next card. Finally you get nerf. I hope you disappear from Shadowverse. This card is just fuck up. This card just doing something bad, something stupid in this meta. Okay, the next card we will talk about is Isabelle token, which is Quadra Magic and Elements of Creation. So for the Quadra Magic, the card cost increased from 1 play point to a 2 play point, and the requirement to create Elemental Creation increased from 7 to 8 different name spell you have played. And for Elemental Creation itself, the card cost increased from 5 to 6. This nerf may change Isabelle viability in Mysteria deck. Nonetheless, you will still use it in spell boost deck since it's the only little option available for the moment. Because what spell boost deck does without Isabelle is just making a big board with Chrono Witch and heal without really doing anything to your opponent's leader or opponent's health. And with this upcoming balance patch and this upcoming nerf for Isabelle tokens, we may see Evolve Rune become tier 1 decks. Since the decks doesn't use Isabelle at all, the decks has so many heal, so many storm option, or cheap damage option, or even OTK option with Vincent and Tetra. So it's interesting to see Evolve Rune become a tier 1 deck again, like last season. Okay, the next card is Darkest Desire, the Ceres token. So the card will be adjust to give your first follower last word deal damage to the enemy leader equal its original attack, and give the second follower heal your leader equal its original defense. So what this nerf does is actually no matter how much you buff your follower, it will deal damage equal its original attack even if you evolve the follower. On the other side, the second effect of this card is buffed. So, it is easier to use the last word for heal your leader, since even if damage to 1 health, it will heal your leader equal its original defense anyway. Well, it is still a nerf for these cards, since with this nerf, last word will have a hard time to set up their OTK with Ceres. Well, maybe we just will see more Kagero on the last word decks, since it's easier to lethal with Kagero spell and Necro Impulse maybe. Well, in my opinion, this deck is still strong, but the deck will have a harder time to set up its lethal, since you can no longer OTK with Ceres. Okay, the next card is a bloodsucker of the night. The card will be nerfed, so you can no longer give your forest bat storm. It will be rush instead. Well, this nerf maybe will not have a big impact in rotation because you use bloodsucker to trade anyway, or you use it to create a darkfish bat to lethal. But however, in unlimited, this is kinda a big nerf for Red Blood, because after this cast release, Red has been a super aggressive deck in unlimited, even more than before. Since in unlimited, we have a card that can give you a forest bat for free, a 0 play point, and also have a card that can give you evolve forest bat and a draw for 1 PP. Well, they can just kick this card out and Red Blood will still viable in both format. However, the deck will be less aggressive than before. Okay, the next card is a buff card, and the first card that get buff is Frigg. This card cost reduced from a 7 play point to 6 play point card. Well, the card now is cheaper, but let me talk why the card is unplayable before this buff. First is you need to destroy 4 amulet with different name, and the amulet need to be strong, such as Noah or Anvil. The second one is this card need to be played on empty board in order to release this card full potential on turn 7. The third one, this card take the same turn with Yatelan, and Yatelan is just a way stronger than this card, and make this card just simply unplayable in ranked match. So with this buff, you can play this card before Yatelan turn, which is sound good actually. But here is the thing, with this card become a 6 play point, you will need to set up your amulet faster in order to play this card on its full potential. And to set up this card faster, you must play your card on curve. So you need to play Amulet since your first turn, second turn, third turn, and you need to search for Selena on turn 4 or 5. And you need to make sure that your board is empty on turn 6, which is kinda hard actually, because turn 6 is mostly when a god of curse resurrected from his effect. So in my opinion, frigg deck will still unplayable in rank match since the card need faster setup than before, and to set up this card is kinda hard actually. Okay, the next card is Primordial Colosus. So this is the most nonsense buff in this patch, since Cygames just simply put Airborne Barrage effect out from nothing. Well, it's kinda similar to Regal Wildcat nerfs when Cygames just simply deletes the card Axel. Well, adding bounce to Forest Craft is simply a huge buff, and this buff maybe will make Leadika OTK come back to its power after Heroic Resolve nerf, of course, and maybe can revive Axel deck since Fairy Flowering has not rotated out. Well, it's kinda interesting to see Forestcraft after this buff, since right now Forestcraft is just unplayable because it lack of bounce. Okay, the next card is our main character, Rowen. So this buff is actually what Shadowverse player want since the card is released, because this card is actually weak compared to other story character. Well, now you can stack the curse, and the curse will start damaging your opponent when your overflow is active. You no longer need to wait until you have a 10 play point. Is a huge buff, since the curse itself take a space in your hand, and you need to spend 1 PP, do nothing, if you want to get rid of this card from your hand, because this card just does nothing from 7 to 9 play point. Have a stack burn damage is also a good one, since if you have Rowen amulets on your field and have 3 curse on your hand, it's simply a free 9 damage burn, and you can set up your little easier. Yeah, we will see this card maybe 2 or 3 copies on Natura Dragon deck, because this card becomes so flexible, and Natura Dragon deck is one of the best Dragoncraft deck right now. Okay, the last card on this balancing patch is Lunalu. So before, this card is just simply a bad and unplayable, because this card just do nothing, and you need to evolve this card to use its effect, and the effect is not even that good. And with this change, the card now can free evolve if you have at least 10 destroyed followers, which is kinda easy for Rally Portal. Still, this card really have a weird place right now. So Cygames want this card to be a Evo Portal support, but the requirement to have 10 destroyed follower is kinda hard on Evo Portal. This card token spell can copy card like Jupiter or Grimnir, which is a very good card to copy, but needing 10 follower to be destroyed is just hard for Evolve Portal before turn 6 or turn 7, since the deck itself only play 1 or 2 follower in 1 turn, so it will be slower. So I don't think people will bring Lunalu after these parts. Maybe 1 or 2 copy, but definitely not 3 copy, because 3 copy of Lunalu in your hand is just brick, since the card cannot copy itself. Okay, so that is a balancing patch for 28 October. Well, with these cards, with so much card change, the meta will definitely change too. And that will make this expansion more interesting, because right now it's so hard to win with a tier 3 deck, because power gap between tier 3 and tier 2 is kinda big. You also just see sword, rune, shadow, some blood in this meta, and the other 4 classes just have a hard time to win. Well, this buff, this patch is interesting. Okay, so I think that's it. If you make until this time, please hit that like and subscribe button. Maybe if you have other opinion, you can comment below. And yeah, I think that's it for today's video, and see you on next video.